Yo, what's good, Jets Nation? This is NY Jets Media, bringing you guys the finale to the series I created on my channel when I break down each position group on the New York Jets. And in this one, I will be bringing you guys my thoughts to the quarterback room for the Jets. And if you guys have not seen them already, I've posted a video to my thoughts on each position group on the New York Jets, on offense, defense, even special teams. And the quarterback position is the last position group I will be talking about because I've covered every single one. So in the bio down below, I will leave the link to the playlist if you're interested to go check out all the previous videos. And I'm really excited to bring you guys my thoughts on the quarterback position because I'm a huge Sam Darnold fan, as most Jets fans are. So I'm excited to give you guys my thoughts on him and the depth on this position and give you guys my thoughts on this quarterback position. So with that being said, let's jump right into the video. So this is my projected depth chart for the quarterbacks. We got Sam Darnold, Joe Flacco as the backup, James Morgan, and then we have David Fales at fourth. I do not expect David Fales to be on the roster going into the season, but I'm just having him here because he's currently on the Jets roster. So going straight into Sam Darnold, our franchise quarterback. I personally am extremely high in Sam Darnold and see a lot of potential, a lot of untapped potential that we have not seen yet from him. His first 2 years were not great, but each season, his rookie year and his sophomore year, he showed glimpses and flashes of what kind of talent he actually has. He has the ability to develop into a top 5, top 10 QB in my opinion, and I do not think he was in the proper situation with the Jets. He came in his rookie year and had a terrible offensive line, terrible offensive play calling, mediocre weapons, and I'm not trying to make excuses for him. This is just the reality of it. And then his sophomore year, he had to learn a brand new system in Coach Gase's system, which is very complex, not easy to learn another system in your second year. And then he has to go through another year of injuries. He had Mono to face. He had to deal with 10 different sets on the offensive line, so many different injuries at the wide receiver position, not a number one target. I know it sounds like I'm making excuses for Darnold, but it's just it's proof that I trust Joe Douglas to build a foundation for Sam Darnold to protect him and get weapons around him, and it's going to be a process. I don't think this year, 2020, Sam Darnold is going to light up the league and be a top 5 QB right away. I think Sam Darnold will develop over time. He's going to be one of those quarterbacks that slowly develops, but I definitely see him making a huge leap in year 3 to solidify him as a real quarterback. I know there's a lot of people that look at Sam Darnold and hate on him and think he's not good and he's a bust because they focus on his terrible performances, like when he saw ghosts against New England on Monday Night Football and all his other bad plays. And I know I'm talking about all the Sam Darnold's good stuff, and I want to talk about the stuff he has to work on too. He has a little tendency to force the ball too much, which leads to interceptions, and that's a good trait to have because you want your quarterback to be aggressive. But at the same time, he needs to be a little bit smarter when maybe he's rolling to the right. Instead of forcing it, the window's not there, just throw it away or just take a sack. I noticed that in the second year, he forced the ball a little too much, and it really bite him in the ass because he threw an interception where he easily could have took a sack or throw the ball away, and that's very easy to fix. That's not a problem, you know. His tools are there, his talent is there, his arm is there. Another thing he needs to work on is his deep throw accuracy, and I do think he has the potential to develop that trait where he can throw consistent deep balls. So another reason why I think Sam Darnold will be great is because he has that magical sloppiness to his game where if the pocket collapses, he has that instinctual awareness to avoid pressure. There's someone behind him, you just feel him, and he steps up and he rolls to the right. He has athletic ability. A lot of people sleep on Sam Darnold's athletic ability. He's not a guy that's going to tuck the ball and run for 30 yards like a Lamar Jackson or a Josh Allen, but he's a guy that can escape pressure, and Darnold's first instinct is to extend the play and throw the ball down the field. His first instinct is not to tuck the ball and run. And that's why I like Sam Darnold a lot, because when he breaks the pocket and he's rolling to his right or left, he's looking up, he's scanning the field. Other quarterbacks like Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen, nothing against them, I'm just saying their play style is when they extend to the right or left and it's a broken down play, their instinct is to tuck the ball and run. Darnold's first instinct is to who's open, who can break free of the route, and who can I throw the ball 15, 20 yards down the field and get a nice completion of. And that's why I like Sam Darnold, because he has that mentality of pushing the ball. He's aggressive, he's a baller, and he has so many different flashy plays that he showed us. That play against the Giants when somebody was dragging him down and he just stayed balanced and just contorted his body and threw a dime to Robbie Anderson. There's so many countless plays that shows you like, wow, if we can really protect this guy, give him stable weapons and give him continuity in the coaching staff, that would be huge for Sam Darnold. Another thing that Sam Darnold really showed me that he is smart enough to be a franchise quarterback is, all you Jets fans know this, the first half of the year, Darnold was frustrated with Gase. He didn't really understand his system that well. Sam Darnold went into the coaching room, talked to Adam Gase, and said straight up to him, hey, listen, coach, I'm not really comfortable with these plays. I'd really rather we can do this. And then Gase said something like, oh, it's about time you came out to me. And I don't agree with that. I feel like Adam Gase should have been like that from the start. But Sam Darnold had to be the mature one and go approach his coach, which isn't easy, and tell him how he wants the offense to be ran. So if Darnold can develop into another coach on the field, similar to like what Peyton Manning was, if Darnold can understand the playbook like the back of his hand, and he's on the field, he scans the defenses, and he just doesn't even have to think twice about what the play call is. He can do all these different audibles, set people up, and he becomes another coach on the field. That's when Darnold will take that next step and become elite. And I'm going to make a separate video of my really going deep into Sam Darnold. This one is just all the quarterbacks. And I don't want to talk about Sam Darnold for too long because there's other quarterbacks that we have to get into. So obviously you guys see I'm really high on Sam Darnold, and stay tuned for another video on this channel, me getting really deep into Sam Darnold's strengths and weaknesses. So going into Joe Flacco, our backup quarterback, we signed him recently, 2 weeks ago or something like that. I made a video on my reaction to that, so if you haven't seen it, you can check that out as well. But Joe Flacco is just, I'm really happy with the signing from Joe Douglas because we needed a veteran to come in and really have somebody that Sam Darnold can lean on. James Morgan, who I'll get into in a bit, I was not comfortable with him being our QB2, especially because Darnold has not played a full season yet in his first 2 years. We need a veteran guy. And rookie year, Sam Darnold had a veteran like Josh McCown to lean on. So now Sam Darnold's going to have Joe Flacco, who is a former Super Bowl MVP, to ask him questions. Hey, Joe, like when you were in the playoffs and you were successful in Baltimore and this situation, what were you doing? Like picking the brain of someone like Joe Flacco is really beneficial for Sam Darnold. And if Sam Darnold ever goes down and Joe Flacco comes in, I'm not like really excited. Like, okay, it's a guaranteed win, but it's way better than Trevor Siemian. It's way better than Luke Falk. And it's a guy that's been in the league and understands football, and you don't have to worry that much. If he can just be a stable guy that just throws the ball to the receivers, is smart with the ball, and it's just an intelligent guy and protects the football, I'm okay with him being our QB2 for this year. It's obviously a short-term deal, a 1-year cheap deal. Can't go wrong. But one thing I have to mention, Joe Flacco had a really severe neck injury, and he might not even be available week 1. So that's a kind of like, I'm scared because, I mean, hopefully he doesn't even have to see the field at all this season, but hopefully he can get healthy and he can be on the field and he can help develop Sam Darnold a little bit more. So going into James Morgan, a rookie quarterback who we drafted in the 4th round, this was a shock to some Jets fans that we drafted a quarterback. Obviously, we have a lot of holes to fill, and Joe Douglas decided to get his quarterback in the 2020 draft. And I understand this draft pick, and when I look at it, if you guys remember, Joe Douglas traded back twice in the draft to acquire more picks. And I think his philosophy was, I'm going to trade back and use a pick I get on a backup quarterback because I need to have a guy who I can develop into a backup quarterback for Sam Darnold long term, who I don't have to pay a lot of money to. So think of it this way. The Jets didn't use their own pick on James Morgan. They traded back, got value, and used that pick on James Morgan. And that's how I look at it, and it's really good value from Joe Douglas. The thing about James Morgan is he's like a football nerd. He's really intelligent, and he's a workhorse. He loves the game of football, and he's just really smart. So that's another guy Sam Darnold can lean on. And James Morgan, I'm pretty sure, is older than Darnold, which is weird. So I'm really happy with that draft pick because I would love to have somebody develop behind Sam Darnold for the long term to be his backup. Joe Flacco is the short-term backup, but James Morgan will be the backup for Sam Darnold in the future for the next 5 to 10 years is my prediction. And he's a 4th-round pick, so we're not going to be paying him a lot of money for the next couple of years. So that's a smart move by Joe Douglas. I'm a big fan of James Morgan. I think he has the arm to develop into a solid backup quarterback. And then getting into the last guy, David Fales, I'm not going to really say that much about him. We really didn't see him play at all. He's just a Gase guy. Gase likes him, so he's on the team. I think he's going to go through training camp and maybe get cut or stay on the practice squad. But I'm not a fan of David Fales. I don't think he's even should be a QB2. If anything, he's a QB3 on this team. So I'm not going to really give you guys that much more on David Fales. So that really does it for this video. Leave a comment down below what you guys think of this quarterback room and your opinion on Sam Darnold. You guys can obviously tell I'm really high on Sam Darnold, and I'm excited to give you guys another video of me getting really deep into what makes Sam Darnold great and why he has the potential to become elite. With that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you're new to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button, and I'll catch you guys in my next one. Let's go Jets! Peace.